back to what we've entitled Big Changes to the Room Part 3. This will be the final instalment in this little mini-series. I didn't think it was going to take 3 to do this, but there's been a lot of work. I've put a video out last week. It's now Saturday, so I finished and edited that video yesterday. That will go out tomorrow. So by the time you get to see this, you've already watched the previous version 2 or part 2 of this video. So I thought I'd make a quick start. Dark frog terrarium still next to my desk, and I'm in a mess in the shrimp room. I know I say this all the time, but I'm in a mess in the shrimp room. So let's flip the camera, show you what the plans are, where we're sort of starting, what we've got to, and what we need to do, and then we'll crack on. At the end of the last video, we just cleared this rack that was there. So what I've done this morning is I've taken the rack down. So excuse all the mess, I need to wash these buckets out. Taken all the rack down. I do need to cut that because I want things at a certain height, so I need to do a bit of measuring. I've temporarily marked the uprights on that. I've disconnected the air feed, but I've literally just capped it there for now. And I think what I'm going to do is, once I've got the other rack in place, I might need to do it before that actually temporarily, but I think the plan is to sort of have it down there on the floor and probably have the rack out a little bit so there's a bit of room behind the rack. And I think the plan is that we'll move that T-piece up to around here, drop it down and put a feed into that pump. The other side of the T-piece will be this bar here, so I'm just sort of flipping that, but I need an extension. I might have some actually, so I do have some pipe down there. I can see, it's just whether it's long enough. It's not expensive, I can always go and grab another piece. And then the hard bit is all the junk that was in here. I need to find homes for, decide what I'm going to do. I'll probably put some of this up in the loft, I think, and that glass tank there has got a bit of a chip in the corner. I'm just going to dump it. I think there's no lid for that one, so I'm probably just going to chuck that. There's breeder boxes and stuff in there that, if done correctly, I can sort of store these behind. I can get some small boxes and store them up behind the rack if I sit that rack out a bit. The rest of this then, so I've got some botanicals, the stuff down there I can just sort out. That box is, so the botanicals need to get shelved, put on shelves. That box there is tubes for sending posters. And then there's other bits and pieces, mainly botanicals. There is a printer on there, but I think I'm going to work it so that I'm either going to put a desk back in the house and remove my desk from the shrimp room, or if I keep it, I'm going to clear out underneath there and build a stand to put the printer under the desk, and then everything else is pretty much just packing. So if I can sort of manipulate my shelving around down here a little bit and tidy that up and use better space of that, then I can move quite a bit of stuff off here onto there. So just keep one rack here for packing materials. Ideally, I'd like my packing materials to go in our spare bedroom, but we'll have to wait and see. Just spotted something actually. So I did find my big old rabbit snail when I was moving those fire reds. So a big old snail that is. I've only seen a couple of babies. So he's in with the cappuccinos, spiked devil thorns or whatever they're called. And then I've got some rabbits in here with the oranges. And there are quite a few. See if that'll focus. Quite a few babies. So there's one there, there's one over there. I think I moved about, there's one there. I think I moved about 10. I think I moved about 10 across, so that one's definitely dropping babies. I need to have a bit of a change up here. I've kept that UGF cycling, it is already cycled as you know. I want to move the flame moths around a little bit, probably to cover the back there. And as you know, we've sort of got bags and bits of filtration sort of sitting all over the place just in storage at the moment, but we'll crack on. So loads of bags of media there. We'll crack on and just sort of get things done, and I'll update you once. I think I'll do an update once that rack's empty, and then I'll do an update once the rack's in, and I'll do another update once I've got the tanks and the frog tank on there. So once the frog tank's in place and the tanks are in place, I have got another little project to do. I won't say too much about that, but I'll probably do that before I actually set those other tanks up. I'm just going to put them in situ for now, and hopefully if I can sort of work it, I don't think, well, I might be able to actually, if I can work it so they remain at this height, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, if I can work it so they remain at this height and keep them uniform, then potentially we've got a lot of storage underneath that bottom rack, which I could use for all my botanicals and stuff, because they're in waterproof boxes anyway. So that might be an idea and give us some more room in the room. Speak to you shortly. We're in a mess, we're in a mess. The shrimp room's an absolute mess. Took that rack down. So this will sort of give you an idea. I've got stuff literally everywhere, so it's a mammoth cleanup. I've temporarily dropped the pump in there. There will be a T-piece off there. I've changed the way I wanted to run it actually. So what I've decided is that I'm actually going to, rather than sort of run the T-piece across there, it makes more sense to run it there and drop down to the floor, because there will be racks below here and then the dart frog tank above that. So we're in a bit of a mess. I want to give you a bit of a perspective of how much different the room will look. So I'll be able to tuck in that AC unit under the worktop out the way, so that'll be nice, and just be able to get round, which was the plan. Just want to be able to move around the room in comfort and manage to sort of be able to view and see things and just make life easier for myself really. But that's the plan, and we are getting there. So we've got a few bits to do. I need to cut down the racking uprights, which I'll do next, get that rack installed, work out where I want the shelves. I've got a good idea, to be fair. Work out where I want the shelves, and then literally mammoth cleanup and sort of decide where everything's going to go. I will have space under that rack, but I think I'm going to need it for boxes of botanicals and stuff. So we'll crack on and update you as we go. Heavy breathing because I'm absolutely shattered, and I'm probably not going to get much more done today because I am so shattered. I've done loads, but I will sort of pan right, and as you can see, we've now got the first dart frog tank in situ. We've got our shelves in, the wiring is done and the lights are on there. I've literally just put stuff here temporarily while I can sort through it, and then the idea will be that we'll have 2 scapers that size on that shelf, 2 low boys on that shelf, and then frog tank 1, frog tank 2. So frog tank 2 is a slightly different tank. They are the same size allegedly, although I think one's not as tall. This one comes with a bottom drain somewhere, so I think it's my reflection, and a single opening door. So there it is. So this one does come with a bottom drain. I do need to fit that, and then there's a pipe and tap, so if it floods and you've got a misting system, it empties. I do need to create a background for that, which I'll do. And worth noting that this one has all the fittings along the side for a misting system already sort of in situ, so that'll be good. I need to get a background sorted, but I'll get that done and I'll video that as a separate video. So just fed the frogs in the other terrarium, and I think I'm going to have a 5-minute break or 5-hour break because I am absolutely shattered, and that's really took a lot out of me. I've left a bit of a gap, and I've sort of sat this one more forward than that one. Those 2 racks aren't actually level with the room for some reason. I think when we put the false wall in here, I don't think it was square to the room, so I took the first rack against that and the second rack sort of off. But so they are a little bit off, and they do sort of come out at a bit of an angle. But I'm happy to leave space behind it because I've got the air pump down there, got my feeds in, And I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually, I've come down, teed off to that on an elbow, put the tee in further down, and that's the original one with all the air valves in. So a little bit of shelf at the bottom just for storage, and it'll be stuff in plastic boxes like that. So I need to sort of just go through that and get that sorted. And those plants are actually for that terrarium. So there's an expensive one in there, and I think I've lost it because I sort of ordered them before I needed to. But you know, it is what it is. I need to stop saying I'll cut there and catch up with you once I've sort of done some more work on here. So it's Sunday the 26th of November, about 8 PM or thereabouts, and we've been sort of doing bits all day. As you can probably tell from my face, I'm absolutely shattered, and we've sort of made some decisions and we've got some stuff moved. So the first decision that we've made is all the laptop and stuff is going to come out of the room. So I'm going to set a desk up in the house, take the chair out. I'll just leave my dad's chair and maybe a couple of folding chairs in here that we can sort of slide out of the way in case people come. But what that will do is that will give me this worktop. That will, you know, make that available to me for, I think I'm going to put my camera gear and stuff on there, to be honest, so that and my tripods and just have everything to hand. But what it will also give me is the space underneath the cupboard as well. So I have got some sort of stacking drawers. I'll probably get one set in there, but it gives me that little bit more storage, probably for botanicals or small items that I can sort of just package away. I'll just quickly flip the camera and you can sort of see where we're up to. So this is the room, and we've still got mess everywhere. I'm just shattered. I'm not going to get much more done today. And we've tidied this rack up, so this is now a lot tidier. And just coming into view is my little picker upper. So one of those litter picker type things that I use just because I can't bend down to pick stuff up. I still need to sort the bottom shelf out here, so it does take those tubs. It may take the drawers out of the unit that I haven't used. I know for a fact the first rack does, so I'll probably utilise that and make use of those drawers as well. We have got some more storage boxes, but obviously we haven't got a lot of place to put them. They may fit under here next to the chest of drawers that I'm talking about, so we'll sort of just have to wait and see. My plan, I think, is to sort of clear that area out anyway, so that the plumber can finally come in and get the sink plumbed in. And that's another thing off the bucket list, or off the list. I do need to have a bit more of a clear out, so boxes down there I need to sort of sort through, boxes down here I need to have a sort through. And I mentioned a bit earlier, I am a hoarder. I have got the vacuum out, so the vacuum's been vacuuming. I will leave the steps in the room, probably just leave them in front of one of the racks, and they're good for sort of stepping up onto and switching plugs off at a high level, stuff like that. But they're also a good seat. They're not a bad seating position, so I might even make a little cushion for the top one, because I only ever use the first step if I'm stepping up anyway. But it's getting there. I need to put the other two tanks in situ. I need to sort out the old lighting that was on there. I need to get, so at the moment there's a plug socket there that's just sort of hanging, and what that's connected to is, if I can get up here, that's connected to the stat there. So there's a couple of things I'm probably going to do. I want to do something with the stat so I can hang the stat up, but I think it'll be more sensible to get a plug socket set on that wall. So I can, it is literally just an extension, but if I can run an extension to there, it makes more sense to have accessible plugs than sort of going behind and trying to find them and stuff. I do have an 8-way down there at the moment, but it's not the type that you can sort of bolt onto the wall unless I can create some little clips that it clips into. But we'll sort of work with that. Just done a little bit of a feed on some of the shrimp. So that's probably the best view of the bloodshot you've ever had, because the lighting was horrendous where they were before. It wasn't great. And then frogs I've just done some temp checks on these, so they've run off, but we did have them, I've seen all 4 today, but we did have them sitting out on the cork bark. Again, I'll probably change this. I do like the idea of having 2 identical rather than an Exoterra that I've sort of adjusted to leave, and that's an Exoterra Frogs and Co. One's 2-door, one's one big opening door. One's more designed for frogs, one's more of a reptile enclosure, so I may get another one of those at some point and move these frogs into those. But I haven't made my mind up yet. I suppose theoretically I could turn this whole rack into a frog rack, but I don't want to. It's I wanted 2, and that'll be my lot, he says. Famous last words. So just moving over, the Neos are sort of coming out. I haven't fed everything, by the way, so I have fed those low to medium grade fancies. I have fed those fancies, their tank needs a clean. I've fed the pintos, I've fed the blues, and I've fed the mixed, but I think it's fell further down the back of the tank. So I haven't fed everything. I don't feed every day. Some of the tanks that are quite heavy with shrimp I do, but not all of them. So that's me done for Sunday. Pick up later in the week. Hopefully we'll sort of get everything finished, and I do want to start escaping the second frog tank. I need to get all this stuff out as well, but I don't want to chuck it. It's just finding somewhere to store it, but I may tie it all up or bundle it in a box and try and get my lad to put it in the loft for now, along with all this stuff. So this is stuff that I don't want to get rid of, but I don't use it at the moment either. So the spare lights, there's that might work actually. So that's got the back fitting, so that might work up there. I know I didn't use it. It's really short lead. So yeah, we're getting there. We've had a bit of a tidy up. Just while I'm on, actually, it is worth mentioning that, as many of you know, we do a lot of botanicals. We've got an offer on at the moment, runs till the 14th of December at 5 PM. If you spend £20 with us, after coupons and before post, and you're a member of our UK Shrimp Fanatics Facebook page, you will be entered into a free prize draw to win either a GB baseball cap or one of our GB mugs. GB mugs over there. And there's 2 prizes. First place winner will get a choice. You have to be a member of that Facebook group, by the way. So it's I can't remember if it's UK Shrimp Fanatics or just Shrimp Fanatics, or might be Shrimp Fanatics UK. I can't remember. But if you're going to spend anyway, and I think I'm going to look at doing some botanical packages for Christmas presents, stuff like that, or some deals on catappa leaves. I need to have a think about what's going on and stuff, and I need to get this done really first, and then I can move forward. But I'll pick up later in the week anyway. Welcome back, everyone. It's currently Monday, so I expected to feel really ill today after yesterday, but I've not been too bad. I've managed to have a little bit of a clean up in here. So just to sort of go through, I've got a box of bits here that needs to go in the shed or in the loft. Still haven't cleaned up round here. I've done that quick because I've got stuff on the screen. I have moved this tank over here temporarily. So this tank is the one I originally set up, but I know for a fact it's got slugs in it. So what I wanted to try and avoid was moving those slugs into another terrarium when I build it. I'll probably have a go with some cucumber and try that, but worst case scenario, I'll boil the stones and everything else will sort of go in the bin, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. So the frogs are currently doing okay. So I don't know if he'll stay in there with the camera on him, but he's definitely out on the hunt. They are getting a lot braver up here as well, probably because they're getting used to me sort of walking past and stuff. So the frogs just hopped off. There are 4 in here. They tend to hide down this corner and up here, but I can't see them, so they are about. Everything else is doing okay. I do think I've lost a couple of shrimp in a couple of the tanks, not major, just a couple, and we're sort of still in the process of clearing everything out. So just noticed something there. So there's another light down here that I need to get rid of as well. I'm going to alter my lighting schedule in here just to try and cut down on some energy usage. That's what I was doing on the laptop, and calculating the usage of the room, which has just made me have a semi-heart attack. But we've got some plants sort of hanging, but I do need to change where those go. And we've had a massive clear out, still plenty to do. Still needs to have another go, and I want to try. My next step is to try and get this cleaned and the laptop out of the room and back into the house. But as you can see, that's sort of the route into the house if you haven't done. But everything's looking good. Not really a massive change from a room perspective. I have fed and sprayed the isopods. They're not really a massive change from a room perspective, but just a bit of a tidy up and a bit of a clear out. I am tempted that once we've got everything sorted, I am tempted to try and probably put some flooring down, but I'm not sure what yet. Probably going to be a lino, just to try and insulate the floor a little bit better and see how that goes. But catch up later in the week. Hopefully we'll have everything sort of in place by then and get the video sort of wrapped up and finished. But we're doing okay. So nice easy day, really, a nice easy relaxing day. I've just sat and done bits, which is really good. So catch up with you later. See where these frogs are. So one tends to hide under there. You can sort of tend to see one, but the Photonia is starting to grow nice. The ficus have eventually picked up, so this is Ficus pumila. So they are starting to put out new shoots. Everything else is sort of just stable at the moment. Not really sort of doing massively, but I've got to say, a couple of the plants are starting to grow in. I think when I do this other terrarium, I'm not going to put frogs in until all the plants are really well established. So probably build it now and maybe sometime in the new year. But we have got a surprise coming soon as well, and it's something else for the shrimp room. Won't take up a lot of space, but you'll have to sort of stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for that. Hi everyone, so just going to wrap this video up really. I've got something to the left of me over here that I've got doing another video. I haven't done a massive amount more. I've taken off the sort of flies ready to feed. I've taken off the other dart frog terrarium, and that's what we're actually building at the moment. And then I've done nothing other than put these 2 tanks in. I'm in a bit of a mess. I've got a load of plants there, so I need to get the dart frog terrarium done in order to clear that tank, move everything out and get the last couple of tanks in here. I still need to box all these in. I'm not going to do a part 4. I might just do a shrimp room update in a few weeks when I've got everything sort of finished and done. And we'll sort of pick up from there. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed the new intros that we created, and there's an outro as well. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. It just helps us to grow massively, and it's really appreciated. Take care, everyone.